If you're a woman over 40 and you have heard of the pelvic floor and wonder how you can avoid bladder incontinence, prolapse, pain with intercourse, or any other uncomfortable or embarrassing issue, well, pelvic floor health is an important topic to discuss. And today I want to talk about what not to do for your pelvic floors so you can avoid having these issues down the road. Avoid ending up incontinent, wearing diapers, and having accidents when you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. We don't want that. So we need to talk about the pelvic floor and what things can actually impact the pelvic floor and make those problems more prevalent in women, especially women over 40, in this perimenopause to menopause stage and beyond. Now, your pelvic floor are these muscles in red here, and these are muscles that we treat as pelvic floor specialists. My name is Dr. Dawn Andalone, and being a women's health physical therapist and also Pilates instructor, I have helped so many women who want to resolve these issues without medications, without surgery. And you need to know what to do that you may not realize could be making your symptoms worse, and what habits to avoid. So the first one, number one, your pelvic floor should not be strengthened all the time. If you were told by your doctor, just do Kegels, well, you're probably overdoing it. So the first thing, what not to do is don't overdo Kegels. I don't want you squeezing 100 times a day or whatever you were told. For any muscle in your body, why would you do that? Why would you just strengthen and do nothing else with those muscles? So it's the same idea with muscles that are your pelvic floor. It's the bottom part of what makes up your core. And these muscles have to support your pelvic organs, your bladder, your uterus, your rectum. They're for sexual function, and they're also that stability of your hips and your pelvis and your back when you are in a weight-bearing position. Now, if you're just tightening and strengthening all the time, it can create other issues. And so we want to make sure that you're relaxing and lengthening the muscles and then also working on strengthening too. So you have to find a balance between those muscles. Now, these muscles work as much as necessary, but as little as possible. And what does that mean? That if you're turning them on all the time, it's going to create extra pressure and tension in this area. And for a lot of the women that we treat, we're working on releasing those muscles and breathing exercises and stretching, all of those things that can help your pelvic floor function better. So if you're doing strengthening exercises and you have any of those strange, embarrassing, or frustrating issues, then just know you might not have a strength issue. So we don't want to do Kegels all the time. Instead, you can do yoga poses, breathing exercises, things that are going to work on stretching the hip muscles and releasing those muscles along with some of the strengthening. So next up, and this might surprise you, but your pelvic floor health is really impacted by your posture. And what would your posture have to do with it? Well, when your body is more upright and standing in alignment, you are going to put less stress and tension on your pelvic floor. So if you learn how to really relax those muscles, but hold your body in a position where you're thinking like your spine is lengthening or you're getting your rib cage away from your pelvis, and keeping that length in your spine allows you to breathe, allows you to have more stability and protection around the area of your midsection because your muscles are going to be used more properly that way. So posture is a huge part of what can actually make your pelvic floor function even better. So if you're hunched over or you sit at a desk, you sit in a car a lot, those are the types of clients that we tend to help a lot that are complaining of having pressure or heaviness in the vaginal area or abdominal area, or they're having back pain or hip pain related to this whole muscle system here. So one great thing you can do for posture and alignment is Pilates-based exercise. And that is going to have you be in tune with what is going on in your midsection, how to breathe properly, how to strengthen and stretch those muscles appropriately. I have an excellent program for this, just released, Pelvic Floor Pilates tone your midsection, relieve back pain, and conquer incontinence in just 15 minutes a day. So I'll share the link of that below. But you want to do exercises that are consistent and focusing on breathing and alignment and posture, because this will impact your pelvic floor. So bad posture is going to create problems with your pelvic floor. The next one is avoid high intensity exercise without preparation. Well, what does that mean? If you haven't exercised in a while, or you're having symptoms of leaking or lower back pain or pressure in the vaginal area, and you go to do running, jumping, HIIT workouts, things that are gonna get you a lot of impact in standing, you're actually going to create more problems with your pelvic floor, and it's not good to do. So you need some preparation ahead of time. You need to work on some of those restorative core related exercises and get the foundation really stable and strong, and also understanding how to use those muscles the best way. So when you go to lift weights, or you go to jump, you go to run, that your pelvic floor doesn't have that extra pressure and you're not creating a bigger issue. So doing Pilates-based exercise, going through some breathing exercises and slowing it down and really paying attention to your core. You don't want to have symptoms when you are doing those types of movements. So that's what I mean about preparation. Get your body ready. If you just had a baby, or you're already experiencing some leaking when you cough or sneeze, those are signs to tell you that your core needs a little more attention and needs to work properly before you go into the higher intensity exercise too. And I see this a lot in women in their 40s and 50s, and they start having more of an issue with their pelvic floor because they have ramped up whatever exercise they're doing, or they lift something heavy, they start doing something that's higher intensity, more strenuous, and their body's just not prepared for it. And then the last thing, what's really important for your pelvic floor and what not to do, is don't hold your breath when you are lifting. Holding your breath is putting extra intra-abdominal pressure, so this area behind your abs and at the top of your pelvic floor, really in this whole cavity here, it puts a lot of pressure, and it puts pressure downward on your pelvic organs. So if you're breath holding, or what we call the Valsalva maneuver, when you go to lift something heavy, or you're doing anything real strenuous like moving and lifting a couch, that can actually put this pressure downward. We see this a lot in women who maybe complained of constipation for a while over time. They're straining a lot, but they're holding their breath when they're trying to go to the bathroom. Or they go and lift something heavy, like moving and lifting a couch, lifting things that are heavy, but they're holding their breath while they're doing it, thinking that is actually helping stabilize this area, when really you want to exhale as you lift, or exhale as you have a bowel movement. So those things can help your pelvic floor be healthier and not have problems down the road. Now, I hope you learned something in this video that you take away and adapt to your daily life. And also, if you're having any of those symptoms, that you check out my pelvic floor Pilates program to talk you through what your pelvic floor should actually be doing and how to do exercises appropriately when it comes to core strengthening. Yes, you need to strengthen, but you also need to lengthen and stretch and relax too. So I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I love releasing new videos about women's health topics and tips to help you live a better life and a happier life. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.